Same night, I'm going to sleep, and it's like midnight, and for whatever reason, I can see this damn face and I'm like,
hell no.
What the hell's going on?
Hell no.
And I'm struggling to sleep now, and I'm not afraid of it. It's just there.
That island, but can zombies swim?
Well, probably. They probably are.
That's crazy,
yeah,
yo, that's crazy.
That's a good one. That's a good. It's a zinger. It's a zinger.
So I heard, I went down the rabbit hole of the Joker 2, just straight conspiracy theorist, QAnon shit. And they were saying because Joker 1 gave like incels who were displaced like a movie to love, they had to ruin the legacy of all of it, and they dropped Joker 2 and they just ruined the entire franchise because they didn't want to give like displaced white males a movie that they can relate to. Because Joker 1 was great because it's like this guy's like an outcast. It was a fucking amazing movie. Joaquin Phoenix, he was in the debate. They're like, who's better as a Joker, Joaquin Phoenix or Heath Ledger? Like, he was in that debate. But because I think so many people bonded with it because they were like, it was like a school shooter movie pretty much.
Right.
It was a school shooter like journey movie where they watched it like, yeah.
Because it's almost like I don't want to say anti-hero.
You feel bad for him. You're kind of like, yo.
You felt so bad. You see why he descends as deep as he does.
Right. And like he essentially like it's a school shooter journey. And people were fucking with the movie so hard. So like, nah, we can't use this.
But then the biggest issue that I have with it is it's a fucking movie. Like, at the end of the day, it's a movie. Even if people were like, hey, I identify with that. Did this movie create an uprise of people just going out there like, yo, you know what we should do? Let's shoot Robert De Niro. Like, they're not doing this.
But it's like, there was the book they banned in schools. What was it?
Where it kept Kill John.
Catcher in the Rye.
Catcher in the Rye.
So it's like something like that where they see that and it's like they used to do it with literature. They're like, nah, we got to ban this from schools. The Joker, they're like, nah, we got to fuck this franchise up. We can't have people rocking with this.
I think it's a foolish thing to do.
We got to end this. So they dropped the Joker 2. That shit was atrocious. I haven't even watched it. I just heard so many bad reviews.
Not a single good review.
I was like, and I saw on Twitter that he got raped in jail, which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I'm good with this.
Damn,
I'm like,
you know, it's crazy.
It was like anti-propaganda.
I was in the checkout cart to go and purchase tickets to go see the movie last Saturday. I was going to go see it. And randomly, because I had it, I went to go take a shower. I'll watch like a YouTube video. It was on autoplay. The very next video, which made no sense, because I was listening to like something, it was talking about wrestling. Very next video was like a blind review to Joker 2, and it was just, this is the worst movie ever. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? I get out the shower, finish up, and then I go to Twitter, not a single positive tweet about the movie. Like, they ruined it, turned it into a musical, all of this other stuff. It did not work. There were people who were the biggest Harley Quinn fans, stans, if you will. They love Lady Gaga. They went to go watch it. Like, this was not good. If you anticipated it just being a musical, then hey, you would have had a good time. But if you were expecting it to be the cinematic experience from the first movie, you didn't get that. It's just one of those things where some movies don't need a sequel.
Yeah.
Some movies don't need a sequel.
They could have done it good if they had him doing his phenomenal acting, but like, I don't know what the fuck their premise was with that. I don't know what they wanted to do. So like, yeah, they just cooked it. I wanted to see it. I love that first Joker movie. It was great. I'm a big fan of like any cinematic, like any good acting. I'm like pour it into my fucking veins. Like this masterpiece. But like shit like that, I don't know. It's sad that it happens.
Especially because you go in there with such high, go in there with such high anticipation and expectation for what you're going to see, because you're so accustomed to what you saw the last movie, where you saw Joaquin Phoenix crying his eyes out or things. You saw him actually put into, motion, different kinds of feelings and everything. Like, so you could really relate to it. Now, hearing that it's this musical that is just god awful, is ridiculous. And people in the comment section, let us know if you watch.
Yeah,
Joker,
let us know what your thoughts were on Joker.
Just not. It's pain.
I saw this thing they were talking like it was like after the screening, it was him looking at Lady Gaga, and he's like that was horrible, and like she's trying to like console him, like it wasn't that bad. He's like, no, it was horrible. They ruined it. Like he was the one saying that, and he knew it was gonna be bad from the fucking jump.
So if that's the case, it makes me wonder what got left out on the cutting room floor, because I think you would have an idea of the pacing of the movie while you're filming it.
Well, no, it could be one of those things where it's like you listen to the director because the director, I think it's the same director.
Because it could be the director's cut of, hey, this is what the ending
I
result
think because
is,
the first one was so good, he was like, all right, I'm gonna leave it to the director. Like, you know what you're doing with that first one, you killed it. Let's just see how you do it with the second one. So he was just doing whatever the director said, and he was like, I don't see the vision, but I'm gonna rock with you. We'll see how it goes. And then when he saw it, he was like, oh no, that ain't it at all.
Right.
So
then how does it still end up? Because granted, it's higher power. So if the director's like, hey, we're going with it, I'm pretty sure if the actor's like, nah, I don't want to be, like, let's not release this. I think we got to go and do it over.
well, I think after it's done, you're kind of like,
After
yo,
it's done,
the
you're
studio's
kinda-
in for fucking a couple hundred M's.
Right. Right,
You
because they
gotta
probably
drop
put
it.
a whole bunch. And I'm curious what the box office, what the numbers will probably end up looking like
Let's see.
for them. Because they probably did a very good opening week, and it's gonna flop from there. Because it's whenever you see movies like that, you're like, damn, bro, what are we doing? You don't want to turn into like the Fast series.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
unfortunately,
the thing
for
about the
them,
Fast series, they kind of ruined it, but not really, because it's like people go to see that for one specific thing,
yeah,
and every movie fucking makes money.
family. Like
Yeah.
it's and funny enough, it's lost the plot completely, but again, people will still go and see, because now it's like, yo, I'm in it. I just want to see what the ending is gonna look like.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep going. Like even Transformers, I think that first 3 Transformers was magnificent.
I haven't
And
seen
then
any
once
Transformers
they got
movies
rid of
since-
Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah.
and then Mark Wahlberg came in. I don't even know
Let's
who's
see.
in the latest Transformers. I'm like, it's not the same anymore.
Who is in the
I have
latest
no clue
Transformers?
who's in it. I think they had a girl, I think, in the latest one
Yo,
and stuff. But
Joker lost 150 million.
wow. In contrast to the first one, or
crazy. No,
what was the
like-
budget?
Joker budget. Let's see. Joker 2 budget. $200 million budget
Jesus.
compared to the 50 million budget on the first one, and then
$200 million budget. What was the opening week?
opening week was probably bad. Let's see. Opening week, 38 million in U.S. box office.
Damn.
That is
Yeah,
rough.
they
bro.
may not cover. And I've always wondered, when a movie fails, flops, whatever the case may be, the 200 million, because it takes into account the studio, all of the staff, actors, promotion, everything. Who takes the hit? Because the money is spent, I would assume.
The what?
So who takes the hit?
So I think the way it works is the theaters would get a cut from that 40 million. So let's say they all brought in 40 million. I'm not sure what they would split it with the movie places, but yeah, they're getting wrecked on that.
Because I wouldn't assume
I'm assuming that theaters get a percentage of the movies, and
they
then
would have to.
or I mean, it might just be theaters don't even get a percentage. They pay everything that they make towards the studios, and they make all their money through fucking like food and snacks and concessions. Yeah.
Because I've always looked at it like, all right, if this is the budget, and you kind of want to recoup of the money so you can now make a profit, the budget for the movies already spent. So I guess what I was asking was, who would be in the red? If
So
it can't
movie
be
theater
the
pays an
theaters.
average of 50 to 55% of its ticket sales to the movie studio.
Okay.
So
The studio takes the hit.
the studio takes
The studio takes the hit.
Theater gets the movie, so they still kind of
Right.
like make.
They get
but
the movie, so they can't be the one who's at fault. It's not as if, hey, we weren't open. So
Yeah.
the studio takes the hit. So if it's the studio who's paying out for every, good Lord, that's brutal, bro. That's a big time loss.
Yeah.
But then
So-
that makes you wonder, like, because these studios are fucking worth
billions.
billions of dollars. So I guess it's like, oh, well.
They
I
just
guess
chalk it up to like
we
I did a
just-
TV show for MTV. They chalk it up. It cost them probably a couple $1 million. They're like, chalked it up to a loss.
Yeah.
So I think with stuff like that, like they have all this other shit that they produce anyways that they make so much money
Yeah, so
elsewhere.
they could break even or even have a ton of different
Because for a movie studio, you have like an automatic win. There's certain things that are just automatic wins. Like a Fast and Furious, you drop a Fast and Furious, automatic win.
anything Tom Cruise,
It could be
automatic
fucking-
win for the most part.
Like any Fast and Furious could be terrible, but like they come for fucking explosions and cars.
Yeah, Marvel, they had the thing, Barbie movie.
Marvel takes some hits.
Oppenheimer.
Barbie movie. So there's certain movies that are big with big name people
Maybe even Equalizer with like anything
Equalize,
Denzel.
yeah,
you
like anything with
probably
a
end up
big,
seeing.
like that's why Kevin Hart does so many movies now. Because like if Kevin Hart's in it, people are gonna watch it just because it's Kevin Hart.
And on top of that, it's his studio and Heartbeat
Yeah.
Productions, I think it is. And then even with The Rock, you have seven bucks
Yeah.
productions and stuff of that nature. So I guess in those kinds of situations, you kind of pocket double.
It's like
I
if
guess.
you have the star power, you're like, yo, I'm gonna invest my own money to make this movie because I know that I'm gonna make money off of it because it's gonna be me.
Right.
So like, yeah, it's kind of like they became like content creators in the sense of like, let me just make my movie. Like you invest into your own content because you
Right.
know it's gonna make you money.
Right.
The Rock, these big guys, Kevin Hart, any sort of like actor that's also a producer now, they kind
Because
of
I
like,
guess when you're first coming up, you're in a situation where you don't have the capital, so you
Yeah.
have to, bank on, somebody picking it up. Like if you wrote a show, you make a pilot, you shoot the pilot, you kind of hope a Netflix or an HBO or a Paramount or somebody picks it up. So now you have the funding
Yeah.
to do everything. But if it's out of pocket, it's on your own. Well, then you would
but it
have
also
to
gives
see
you
if you could-
control of it. So if it's
Yeah,
like
it
your
gives you
if
control.
your
Right,
movie
right.
studio, like Tyler Perry has his own movie studio.
Right.
All those Tyler Perry movies, they don't go out unless Tyler Perry says, yeah, it's good.
Right, because he's gotten to the point where now he has a studio. But when he
Yeah.
first started off, of course not. Like I know a guy who's in Detroit. Shout out to Izzy Dre. He had a film that came out like 5 years ago. He went to, I forget where it was, but he had one movie theater, had it dropped over there, and then uploaded it to YouTube. Did what he did earlier this year. I flew to Detroit. Same situation. He had one movie theater where he could showcase the film, and then he got like a partnership with Tubi to have it, like at least he could have it uploaded on Tubi. Everybody got
Yeah.
a stigma for Tubi, but I mean, for those who have lower budget movies, put it on Tubi's, and then you just got to hope on the off chance somebody scrolling, the right person sees it, says, let me send this to this studio over here, and now you have the funding to do what you really,
Yeah.
I guess, want to do per se.
Right. No, yeah. So movies are an interesting game because it's literally just content creation, but on like the highest level of like, let's put money into this, let's make it something cool, and then let's sell it. Right. So some movies are just massive because there's crazy ones like Avatar 1 is an insane movie. I think they had a budget of like, it wasn't
Bro.
that big, but they did
Bro,
billions of dollars, bro.
Yo, I remember that was the last movie that I saw in the theater by my parents' house.
Let's
And
see.
my God, what a movie, bro.
Oh, damn. They had $237 million budget for Avatar.
Yo,
That's crazy.
And they had what? I think it was the highest grossing movie
All time.
ever. Like oh my Lord, they made some bread on that joint.
Let's see. So it cost them $237 million to make it. It brought in $2.9 billion, bro.
I never went to go see the sequel because I refused to be let down. I don't know if it was good. I don't
It
know
was
if it was bad.
still good.
I didn't want to go watch it.
Nah, it still hit. Avatar, so look, it's a $2.9 billion grossing movie, Avatar. So they 10x the money. They invested 300 M's, brought back 3 billion.
Right.
Crazy. The third one, or the second one, is the third highest grossing movie of all time with $2.3 billion already.
Yeah.
That was a
I'm
really good
retiring.
movie too. I watched the second one. It was like it's not the original Avatar,
Right.
but it's like magical. It's a weird magical movie. You watch it, you're like, yeah, I'm an Avatar. It's like they're the water avatars now. So they're like,
Oh, okay.
they go to a different tribe and they're like the water ones. They're like, I'm an Avatar. Like I don't know. It's cool. It's powerful.
One of those things you got to watch when you're under the influence.
But yeah, you lose under the influence. You know what I want to do in the season? I want to get really fucking drunk and just go to like one of these haunted maze things. I try to do it every year. I'm not even big on like.
Wait, there's a tradition for you?
I try to do it. Like I'm not even big on like partying and drinking and stuff like that. But I love just like getting drunk and going to the haunted mazes during Halloween, because when you go there sober, you're too like, I don't know. Me personally, I'm too like logical. I'm like,
Are
it's
you
a fuck.
antsy? You kind of
I'm
anticipating when the
I'm not
people are going to
antsy.
come?
I'm just kind of like, it's a dude in a mask. They're gonna pop out at me. Whatever.
Oh.
I'm a fucking buzzkill. I'm kind of like, oh, cool, like boring. When you go drunk, you're kind of just like, you're there, you're prepared, you're on the hunt, and they get you too because they pop out. You're like, your awareness is lower, or your inhibitions are lower, so like they just jump out and scare you, and it's a lot more fun.
Do you think you can? Well, then again, I think it would have to be somewhere like you purchase the tickets when you're not drunk. You completely forget about it. You just so happen to wander off to where
Nah,
you're there,
but
so you
if
don't
like
remember.
I don't know, when I get drunk, I can like allow myself to get scared.
See, it'd be too difficult for me.
Yeah,
It'd be
because
too
you're
difficult for
too
me.
like stoic. You're too like
Yeah, it'd be too difficult for me.
If you drink,
Yeah,
if
it'd
you
be
drink
too.
enough, I think it'll.
No. Because the thing is, for me, I'm still like when I'm drunk. The only times in which I've like lost my, I've had to like get blackout kind of drunk, and then at that point, it's not fun
Because you
because
don't remember anything.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
And it's a bad time because I wake up in the morning and it's terrible for toilets everywhere. So I'd rather want to be in a
Have you
situation where I
gone to
don't
one
know
of
what's
these like
happening.
haunted maze things?
No, I've never done it because
Universal Horror Nights or like
none. No, I've never really been a Halloween person or any of like the
Yeah.
scare tactic things. I don't mind that kind of stuff as long as I have no clue what's going on. Because if I go in there and I'm anticipating somebody popping out to come and scare me, it ruins the
That's why you
experience.
drink beforehand.
No, but then it's still gonna be there. I'm like, okay, they're
True.
gonna pop out at any particular point.
So for me, like I don't know, I'm not super big on Halloween that much either, but I like to feel things.
Okay.
I'm big on like feeling things, right? Whether it's fear, whether it's like, because I don't get scared of anything in real life. Like I'm fearless, I'm a beast. But like I need the fear sometimes, like physical fear, I guess. In a sense, in real life, I don't really have any physical fear, but there, it's kind of like, it's like the quick little, it's like a, I don't know, it's cool. It's like something like you come home, and you're like, wow.
How long is the experience? An hour?
I mean, they have a couple different mazes, so I usually just go. I get the expensive pass, so I can just cut people.
Okay.
And
cut lines. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just go and like I'll get drunk and I'll just go through these mazes, 6, 7 of them. Get scared.
Because my thing was, it feel like maybe it could get old.
What?
Like past time. Like, all right, you like somebody comes out, they shock you like 4 times.
No,
Now
but
it's
I
like,
think
all
what
right.
makes it fun is each one is themed.
Okay.
So it's like you see like, oh, this one is a fucking lizard theme, like a lizard creature.
Okay.
From space. Like Hillary Clinton is gonna come out and scare you. And then like you have one that's like a nun. I'm like, oh, okay, like there's a guy touching little boys in there. Like, yo.
Oh, it's a priest.
Diddy.
All right.
It's a Diddy
It's a
maze.
Diddy.
Yo, they would make so much money. If they did a Diddy maze, they would make so much money.
Down. They getting sued like a
And they would like do the facade, make it look like a Diddy's house, and just do a
That'd be
Diddy
a
maze. And you
terrible
go in
situation.
and like they douse you in baby oil.
Yeah,
and you're
somebody
like,
pop out. I told you that we won't stop. I told you that we won't stop. That'd be a terrible situation.
Oh my god, bro! Like they douse you in baby oil, and you have to like go through fucking all these people
What I'm gonna
dressed
do
like
now?
Diddy.
What the hell I'm gonna do now? That's a bad
You see
situation.
Cassie running.
That'd be a bad situation.
Yo, that's
be-
psychological warfare right there.
Somebody getting sued.
No,
Somebody
but yeah,
getting
so like
sued.
they do like different themes on the mazes. So like it is boring if you go through the same one over and over again. But if you were to like go and appreciate it for what it is, it's like it's not one of those thinking things. You gotta turn your brain off for a day and just fucking have a good time.
No, perhaps I'll have to explore it. I never really was, big Halloween growing up, everything of that nature. I never really was exposed to it
Yeah.
or whatever the case was. And my parents always said like, hey man, Halloween is the devil. So they never like people dressing up for Halloween and everything. It wasn't until like now, as in my adult years, that I started to cosplay. And then even still, it's not even
Cosplay.
really cosplaying. Like I'll go to a couple of different cons. You'll wear an outfit. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Not really me.
So Halloween was always my excuse to be a thought. Like that's a thought holiday.
Thought holiday.
Thought holiday. Yeah, think about it. Halloween was like fucking bitches wearing nothing,
Right.
being like naked, and guys like it's their excuse to like be shirtless at night wearing an outfit. Like and then drink and party. It's like a party holiday for adults.
It's a lust-filled evening.
Yeah, but now that I'm married and stuff, like I don't care to do stuff like that. It's like boring, so I'm not gonna dress up. I just want to go get scared. Like that's fun to me.
Is it more along the lines of you don't care for it, or you've graduated from it?
Well, no, I don't really care for that anymore. Like there's only so much you could do. Like it's kind of the same shit every time. Like
Right.
you go to any place, it's a girl dressed like a thought and dudes that are shirtless drinking. Like I'd much rather go get scared and like partake in the festivities like that. That's fun. So I've never really been a like Halloween for what it is, trick or treating and shit. I'd never really got into that, but I always loved like getting scared, using it as an excuse to party. I think that was always fun.
I remember the one time that we ever participated in the whole trick or treat. We had like a bunch of Bibles we gave out, so people would ring the doorbell. And we
You
gave
gave
out
people Bibles?
Yeah, bro, they hated our house so much, bro. I'll never forget the next.
That's
year,
how you get your house
nobody
egged
they
and shit.
never showed
That's how
up.
they egg your house. and
Funny
they
enough,
vandalize your
we
shit.
were anticipating people trying to egg our house because we didn't have a house where you could toilet paper it.
Yeah.
But you could have definitely egged our house. And there was one, I think it was junior high school. I was 12. This had to be 2006, 2007, around that time period, where people's houses were getting egged left and right. And I remember my father was like, "Hey, listen, somebody throw an egg at this house. We got some problems." I'm
We're
like,
eating their
"Yo."
cats. We're eating
Yeah,
their dogs.
it was about to be terrible, but nothing ended up happening, so we
I
were
like
able
how
to
he
get
just
away with it.
glazes past all the Haitian jokes. I try to
Yeah.
dig him in there. He just
Boy,
keeps
it's just
going.
it's we've moved past it. But it's gonna be a very intriguing Halloween for what people plan to go out there and do. I don't know if there's scary movies that are coming out that is
Yeah.
themed around
I
Halloween.
me and my wife used to watch a lot of them. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know. Having a kid will like tone you down. Like I'm not trying to watch a scary movie for what?
Is it because the focus is different?
Well, no, it's like
Because you
I
have an
could,
infant at this stage.
yeah, like I could watch it. My wife doesn't like to watch it because then she's like taking care of her daughter and she gets paranoid for the daughter with scary movies and stuff. So it's like she doesn't watch it for that reason. I'm a bitch, so I don't watch it because I'm not trying to watch that shit by myself. You know?
Does it stay with you after you go to sleep? Because
No, no.
I do get a bit of like mental pictures. This is what I call it, where if I see something, because I follow this page on Instagram called Murder Fact, right?
Jesus.
And I'll never forget. I think this was maybe 4 or 5 some months ago when I followed the page. I binged all of the content, and they have in the way that they have the videos structured is they have like a undertone music video in the background, and then they have the edited faces of like the
Just
it's
super
like a people,
creepy, yeah.
and then when they drop the theme, the face like turns into kind of like a lizard kind of look. And I watched maybe like 30, 40 of these videos, perfectly fine. Same night, I'm going to sleep, and it's like midnight. And for whatever reason, I can see this damn face and I'm like,
Hell no.
what the hell's going on?
Hell no.
And I'm struggling to sleep now, and I'm not afraid of it. It's just there.
Nah,
So
I
my
think-
mind, because when you try to sleep, you try to shut your mind off. So you're
Yeah.
like, hey, let me not talk to myself. And my eyes are closed, and I'm just seeing this fucking lizard. I'm like,
Nah.
I can't do anything about it. It's just here. So it ruined my ability to sleep for like a week.
For me, I think I don't mind. Like after the movie, I'm good. I go about my life. I'm like, it was a movie. During the movie, I'm sitting there watching it by myself, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, I start looking around.
I'm kind of
yeah.
like, oh shit.
Yeah, start
Like I
looking
get too
around.
involved in the movie.
Right.
But then, like when the movie's over, I'm fine. So it's like when I'm by myself, I'm not watching that
See,
shit.
I
I'm
do
a
the
bitch.
same.
I'm a bitch.
See, that's one of the things where I maybe I have a bit of cognitive dissonance, like with the horror maze, the Halloween maze thing. Is when I'm watching a show or I'm watching a movie, I fully put myself in. So like I'll never forget when I was watching. Funny enough, I think it was the last good Fast movie, Fast 6 or Fast 7. I left that and I had to bike back home, bro.
you was
I
locked
felt like
in?
I was on like in the car. I remember
Yeah.
when they had got the movie, the money at the end of Fast 5, and they had like the I don't know what the hell the lyrics
Dun,
was.
dun,
but-
dun, Danza
It's like Danza Kuduro, whatever the case was. I felt like, man,
I know that.
I had maybe like $20 in my
You
account.
felt
I felt like I was fucking rich.
Latino. You felt Latino though.
Oh, I mean, man, it was crazy, bro. Like
You're on your bike. Da, na, na, na,
I
na.
went home. I was like, man, I thought my girlfriend was a washing machine shaped. But whatever the case was, like it was so many different things that was awesome about being able to go and enjoy the movie, and then afterwards you kind of are in the embodiment.
in the
but
fucking
in
movie.
a scary movie kind of thing, like if you're watching Jason or Michael Myers or whatever,
Serial
you
killers
start
don't
looking
scare
into
me.
like a deep,
So the thing
like
is,
a
I don't
blackened.
I don't get
hallway.
scared of like any serial killer stuff. I'm kind of like, I will whoop you. Don't play with me.
No, like Dexter. I really enjoyed watching
Like
Dexter.
that. Like
was
and
a
no,
great
but
show.
even like Michael Myers, I'm like, bro, if he came to my crib, he's eating fucking 6 shots to the chest. You know. I think what's scarier for me is like the ghost. Like smile is scary because that's not really something you could fight. That's a
Oh, is it like a Freddy kind of situation?
Freddy. Yeah. So Freddy's kind of like, yo, how would
In
I?
your dreams?
If I can't combat the ghost, it's what makes me scared more because I'm like, yo, if that happened
Okay.
to me, I'm cooked.
Because
That's it.
what is how do I now battle this?
But a serial killer, it's like pretty self-explanatory, right? Even like werewolf movies, like, okay, I'll just shoot you. What
No,
you gonna
stuff
do?
like that. It's like you're not. It's the possibility of this happening in real life is so minute
It's-
that
yeah.
I'm not. Once the film is done, then I'm good. But for me, I try to create the environment. Like anytime I'm watching a scary movie, if I'm just watching it in the crib by myself, I will like, all right, obviously lights off, whatever the case may be. I'm sitting there, I'm watching it, and I try to fully let myself get in there. But then going to sleep afterwards is brutal. If I'm gonna watch something like that, I'll watch it in the morning. It's bright outside. and I'm good. Because my thing is, when I got to go to sleep, and now and I have an incredibly curious mind. So then naturally, I'm be like, okay, oh well. So what if it happened in this world? What if they was in my room right now? Well, what happens now? Because so what do I do? So now I'm over here like, okay, I get out of my bed this way. Well, my swords are over there, but
My
what if I
swords.
bring it over
That's the most
here?
New York thing ever. My swords are over there.
Hey, listen, you can't have a gun allegedly. So you got to do what you got to do. Can't say anything publicly, but
Allegedly.
it's just one of those situations where my mind will run amok, and
Yeah.
I'll sit there like, all right, the people are getting killed over here, or even Resident Evil. I'll never forget when I was a kid. That movie made me cry.
Zombie
I ran
movies
into my
were
grandmother's lap and
exciting to
cried.
me.
Bro, I couldn't
I
do
always
it.
thought, like, as a kid, I was like, yo, like, it would be kind of fun. Like, then me and my friends would, like, all, like, make a base and, like, protect ourselves from zombies. It was always, like, a fun idea.
Bro, I was cooked. I could not, because with the thing with the zombies that kill me every time, and I'm passionate about this. If one of your friends gets bit, the thought process is we have to kill you.
Yeah.
The problem that exists is more often than not, people is like, yo, hey, I got bit, yo, you got to kill me. Motherfuckers always think
Hiding it.
I can beat the disease.
Nah, but you could tell because they start getting real, like,
No, yeah, but it happens
sickly.
over time. So then the issue that happens is you might have been infected for God knows how long. Because it's supposed to happen immediately fast, but in all of the movies, they let it build
Progress,
up over
and
time. So
they
now we've
hide
been
it.
going through this entire fucking situation. We already made a pact. If somebody got bitten, then you're going to take the motherfuckers out. We're getting in a highly emotional kind of state. Earlier on, if you told us, we would probably be like, hey, we could
Nah,
just
but
murk you.
I don't think that
It's
you. I don't
difficult
think
now.
you're an emotional person though, because I think for that stuff, like I see stuff like that, I'm like, yo, you got bit. I understand, like you're my friend, but at the same time, you gotta go.
Bro, it'd be tough for me. It'd be tough for me.
You gotta go.
Because if
You're not my friend anymore. Like
No,
we'll let you have your
because
last.
you're a different person after you get bit.
Like I think here's one thing you could also do. I don't know if I saw this in a movie or I just made it up right now. Just chain them up. Chain them up. Have them chained up and be like, all right, bro. Like you get to enjoy your last time with us. It's been real. But then when you fully morph, like you're done. I don't know. That's not the hard
also
part.
holds
For me.
you back too. It won't work. It won't
Think
work
so?
because if you have to make it to a place. Like I remember I was watching Trade to Busan. It's like a Korean movie, and it was a guy and his daughter, and they were just trying to get away. And at the end of it, the guy ends up getting bit, and then
Spoiler
he has
alert.
to like lock himself out and save his daughter. And there was another woman who ultimately had to take over. And
Like I Am
kinda-
Legend when he sacrifices himself so that the people could.
Yeah, it's one of them situations where I'm like, yo, if I was in this spot, what do you do? Like, hey, that's your girlfriend, that's your wife, that's your daughter, that's your mother, that's your best friend. Somebody just got bit, and what would get me is if it happened off the cuff, like there's no idea. This is the outbreak just happened.
Yeah.
It's not already going on. I think I'd be fine. If it's already going on and we have like a pact of, yo, we gonna make it out, and now I'm leaving you behind, that's one of those, shit,
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
make it and you can't. I'd rather it should have been me. Like that.
I feel like
Couldn't
I
do
would
it.
come up with a plan so that the people that I know I wouldn't be able, like my wife, my daughter, they would be in the safest area, so the zombies wouldn't
But
get
the
them.
thing is, you would not be able, because that would be if you're aware of what's happening and it's far enough from you to where you can now strategically plan. But let's just say, bam, outbreak happened downstairs, right? And you now get, it's brought to your attention, hey, there's something that's happening on the 17th floor. And every 5 minutes, it's getting a floor higher. You're on floor 28. So now, shit, I got about like an hour or something.
But then you also look at that and you're like, there's not really much we could do. I think here's what we do. You lock yourself in. I lock myself in. We shut the fuck up. Hopefully it passes us. If not, I just guard the stairwell. And that's it. And I go out first. And I'll take as many out as I can. And then you go after me.
Yeah,
but it's
then,
never one of those like you get bit, then I have to lose you situations, you know?
See, but that's the thought process, right? But then what happens, like, I bet, yo, I got the stairs or whatever. All of a sudden, now, bam, they come out the elevator, and now you're like, you got to go and see if you could go and save said person. And then here's where it gets fucked. They come out the elevator. You somehow get in. None of you guys mess around and get bit. Now you're in escape mode together.
Yeah.
Once that happens, and now it's like, shit, we have to get out of here together. It's a group effort now.
It's still like a sacrifice thing, though. I
No,
don't know.
right. The idea is like a sacrifice thing. Like, hey, I'll be able to sacrifice myself until it's not you.
True.
So now it's like, yo, we'll get out of here. If I get bit, y'all be all right. We could go that way. You're the master planner of the whole group. Your wife gets bit.
Yeah.
Shit. What do you do now? What do you do now?
Yeah. That's cooked.
That's where it's like, oh, well, I had this thought process.
You cut the limb off. Whatever part gets bit first, you cut it off.
See, but you see how you're trying to compartmentalize.
Nah, but my wife would tell me. My wife
fucked.
wouldn't be like, oh, I got bit. She would be like, oh, I got bit.
See, you
Take care of our daughter. No,
See-
because she would put the daughter first. So she'd be like, I got bit. Take care of our daughter. So I'll cut her arm off.
What happens if
Boom.
your daughter gets bit?
Then shit, we just gotta go. Like at that point, it's
See?
like it's unlivable. You gotta like, yo, we all die now.
It's a tough
That's
situation.
the only one. That's the only one. If daughter gets bit, like we not living without no daughter. We're gonna just sacrifice ourselves. I'm joining the horde, bro.
That's one of the reasons why, like, if a zombie thing were to go an outbreak, I'm cooked, bro. Because if the people who are around me, if it's the outbreak happened, they get caught up, I'm all right. If we're in a group together trying to survive, I'm done. Because I gotta leave you behind now.
I think
It's
cities
over,
like this
bro.
are fucked.
It's over, bro.
I think any sort of city like this is fucked.
If you had a helipad on the damn roof or something and you had access to a chopper, then you could get up out of there or something. And then even worse, now my mind's spinning. What am I, a filmmaker now? Where you get into a damn chopper, the pilot got bit before they got inside the plane. You find out that, they turning crazy while they're behind the damn wheel. It's a bad situation. Kobe, like, you don't want to have an idea of what's going on.
Damn.
It'd be a tough situation. It just popped in my head.
We're talking about zombies.
Yeah.
Kobe kind of straight.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. It just popped in my head. See, that's why I can't be all live. But it's one of them spots where in all kinds of scary situations like that, you kind of want to be somewhere where you could be away from people. Like if I could get on a boat somewhere, get on a plane somewhere.
That island, but can zombies swim?
Well, probably. They'd probably.
That's crazy,
probably.
That's crazy.
That's a good one. It's a zinger. It's a zinger. But yeah, it's one of them
My bad.
situations. It's one of those situations.
It was just a reflex.
Where you
That's
have
crazy.
to.
That's a crazy reflex.
But that's what makes it funnier. That's what actually adds to the humor. Yeah. That's what adds to the humor. But it's you gotta be able to have an escape, because I guess the allure of it is there's no escape in sight. But there has to be that escape that you can get to.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to actively be vying to get there.
Here, I mean, where I'm at, like, I'm done, bro. There's no way I escape. If they start getting the floors underneath, like, my only bet is to fucking
jump off.
It's just to box that in and hope they never get in. That's it.
But because once they get in, where do you go?
Nowhere.
Now, granted, if you have like a rope or something, I don't know if you had like, because I know if I lived in a penthouse,
You'd have
up
an
at the
escape
top,
rope?
I'd have like one of them big ass, thick ass ropes, not necessarily like a noose per se. That's just a loop. But I'd have like a thick rope, just if in the event something were to happen, I can be able to escape.
All the way
downwards.
down?
No, not all the way down. Just get to a lower floor.
But then you go to a lower floor, the zombies are still there.
No, yeah, but I'm saying just in regular night, not even zombies existing, just preventative measure, I'd have like a rope, something to where it's like I'd have something to be able to escape if I can't. Because if a fire were to break out, there's elevators ain't working. All right, we'll go and we take the stairs. If the stairs are broken off, like it was a World Trade Center, what the hell do you do? Like if it's broken from floor 27 down to 14, well, you got to jump down.
Well, no, because then this fire was going to break this because of all the concrete and then the sprinklers and stuff.
No, right, but I'm saying if there was a situation
like a plane hit this building,
like you had no.
I think you just gotta. That's like one of those things where you gotta just take that. If a plane hits your building, you gotta just take that. You gotta be like, all right.
Because I remember
God wanted me to go at that point.
When I was a kid, and then the Trade Center had gotten hit, because I was in New York, so I was like, okay, so if it got hit, I was thinking like, all right, if the plane hit, now you're saying you can't take the stairs. The stairs is knocked out for, let's just say it's like 10 floors. Right? So if you're on floor like 76 down to 66, the floor, like there's no stairs.
Oh, you were trying to cover the gap.
Yeah, like you got to cover the gap. So it's like, shit, what do you do now? So and when I was a kid, I'm like, yo, you kind of got to just jump, and on the off chance if your legs don't break, then maybe you could just get down to the stairs and then work your way down.
How would you jump to a lower floor?
No, I mean, if the stairs is gone, then if you can see where the next base is at, that's kind of where you would go. But it's a psychological fucked situation.
You're fucked off 10 floors anyways.
Yeah,
Like,
you're
it's-
screwed. Like the highest I've ever jumped was like 2 floors, and that was it.
People were jumping off that bitch. So it's like
yeah, it's
that's messed up. No, I think about stuff like that. I'm like, there's enough preventative measures, but like in the case something like that happens, it's like you got to just go.
yeah. Because that always goes through my mind. Because I've always every time I walk into a room, I think of 3 different exits, how I'd be able to get out. Funny enough, the first time I came here, that was one of the things
We
that
only
went
have
through my
one
mind. Yeah, you have this door, so that's one that's over here. 2, most of the times when I go outside and I look over the balcony, it's like, okay, if I were to jump, how would I jump in order to make it to the floor that's lower?
There's no way.
And then, because where that 8th floor area, fall
TJ's?
down there, you're done.
Yeah.
But I looked like, okay, if I go down, because if we took the cameras outside, you'd see it. But because you have that slight angle area, right? Mm-hmm. There's no way to hook to go underneath.
Yeah.
That's where the rope would come into mind.
And you would
Have
get
it to
into
where
one
you can
lower?
kind of swing in. So
Yeah.
I looked at where the different balconies were, and I was able to measure in my mind how many full-sized me's would it take to get down. 3.
Yeah.
So I'd get low enough, bam, hold myself, and then swing through. So that's another exit that's there. And then the
Yeah.
third one is ultimate. Well, I mean, it's just
If it's just
each
me,
other side, but-
I'm very confident if it's just me, I'll figure something. Like I'll grab an extension cord like one of these and just use that.
yeah,
But I think what makes it difficult is wife and child.
right.
And
Because
That's-
ultimately,
even child, I guess I could put the child on a backpack or something.
it's still a tough situation.
It's
They
just
just
harder.
put the damn.
Yeah.
Was it like Brenda got a baby? It's like they wake up in a dumpster.
No, they
Well,
got
I mean, it's just it's because you could fit your kid in there, but then I've always looked at it like if something like that happened, obviously I'd have to go out, then come back to come and get you because the probability of you being able to do the same thing, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that's just every time I walk into a room, I think of 3 different exits. How would I be able to escape if crisis were to happen?
I think
How
that's
can I get
that's
up
a
outta here?
natural male tendency, to be honest. It's just because I do the same thing when I walk in a room. I scan. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, like it's a weird like, all right, there's a guy over there, there's a guy over there.
Yeah.
Like if shit were to go down, I take him out.
Yeah. I
Take him
keto.
out. Kick this guy. Ooh, there's a police officer right there. Grab his weapon.
You have
everyone
to
out, yeah.
face the door when you enter into like where you're
Yeah,
sitting
so it's
or
like
something of that nature. right?
I always, whenever I walk in anywhere, I survey everything. My wife thinks it's hilarious because she'll be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. right.
But my wife is like I don't think women do that naturally. My wife is like, "What are you doing?" I'm like,
Because I live my life by the doctrine of never think it can't happen to you.
Yeah.
You never know. You could be like, oh man, what's the possibility, or I should say, what's the probability of this happening? Incredibly low, but it's possible.
well, no, because for me, like even surveying, it's never been like a save the day type of situation. But I've done some really cool shit just by surveying the thing. So like one time, I surveyed like the area. I'm like, that looks kind of unstable. It was like a big poster board thing, like it was there. And I remember like at some point it went to go tip over, and I was like, bam, caught it. I was like, holy shit, are you Spider-Man? Like that was cool as fuck because I caught this thing. But it was just because I saw it
You saw
unstable
that,
earlier.
right?
And like I just
Right.
did the coolest thing. I was like,
And you're able to anticipate, stuff falling. I watched
Yeah.
a video compilation of where they're like super dads, and there was a video. Funny enough, it was an Asian father. He, the son was like waddling and then tripped, and his head was gonna go face first into the fridge. He threw a pillow, like similar to one. That's
I
behind
seen
him,
that, and then he
threw
landed
the
on the pillow.
pillow, and it landed between the face. I'm like, dude, this would, and the amount of
crazy.
being able to be alert, you're able to figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
And funny enough, with women, where like the goal when they're like, hey, when you're in the soft era that they have going on where you could just turn your brain off when you're with your man or whatever
Yeah.
the case may be. And I'm like, every dude envisions being able to protect his woman, his family, himself in multiple different ways. But then on the flip side, and I think this is the frustration that's growing amongst men, is you get no credit for the actual willingness to be thinking that, because naturally
Yeah.
it's innate in you to go and protect.
It's a lot of energy to
but
just be
it's
like,
a lot of
yeah.
energy because naturally you want to be able to go into that protection mode regardless. Like, hey, I'm here to protect and everything. But if you turn your brain off, and I'm thinking for me and you, although I want to do this and I know it's my right to go and do so, can you at least acknowledge that you turning your brain off here?
Yeah.
Like I don't need you to give me like a standing ovation that I'm doing this, but your brain is off willfully. And I'm thinking for the both of us. Like,
Yeah.
I can't stand just walking in the street and like she's looking in the skies. You had no sense of urgency. You're not really going nowhere. And
There was one time. There was one
Can't
time
stand it.
where my wife actually got mad at me. We were somewhere. It was a really crowded area, right? We were in a crowd and we're walking, and she went the wrong way and was gonna separate us. So I yanked her. And she got so mad because the way I yanked her, like over here this way. She's like, "Why did you do it? It was so aggressive." I'm like, "Listen, what if we get separated and someone abducts you, and you're gone forever? Because it's easy to abduct you." She's like, "I would
Right.
yell." I'm like, "Nah."
Chloroform, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. You know,
I've
like
had that happen
at least
a
here, I
couple
just
of
freaking
times.
grab you and then I know where you're at. You know, so it was like one of those things where she like didn't get it. So I was like, for me, it was one of those things where I kind of saw the path and I was going.
Even in like the street when you like somebody like you're walking, let's say if you were to jaywalk or something, and you can anticipate, hey, that car is moving a little bit faster. Then we should stay back. You got to pull somebody back. You're not always going to be able to be gentle or something. Like if you were to,
It's an instinct. You just kind of like boom.
like if somebody was throwing stuff and you're like, hey, get down. Sometimes you might have to say, get the fuck down.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have to say it like that? Well, I mean,
in
you
the-
could have been decapitated.
in the spur of the moment, you just kind of go.
Right. You just
go.
You know, so it's one of those things that's always ran through my mind. Like I know this what we're supposed to do. And you don't wake up every morning like, hey, I need you to acknowledge that I'm this protector that's here. But it would be nice if time to time, like, hey, I appreciate the fact that I can turn my brain off.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm with you and I don't got to worry about that kind of stuff. And I know how difficult, it is to be able to be in that thought process at all times when you get them. Like, I appreciate, that's all I needed. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So it's something to think about. Something to think about.
Just,
for
this
Halloween.
episode was kind of everywhere. I don't even know how we started with this.
Yeah. I think it got into Halloween and we're trying to figure out if a zombie apocalypse were to happen, then what happens there.
Nah, first thing I'm doing, I'm going somewhere with no people. You don't survive in a city because it's
It all depends on when you find out, though.
True.
Yeah, because you find out they downstairs, can't necessarily make it to where there's no people. But
need a
let's say
chopper.
if it were to happen in like Idaho, then at that point now you're able to figure out where it is that you want to go.
Idaho. Idaho.
Yeah. So if it's Ohio, somewhere like in Alabama, if they're like, they're migrating north to come over, like, oh, Lord,
Uranus.
here we
My
go.
anus.
Oh, no. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Diddy. I am the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. D. Chisel Adonis. He is a serial entrepreneur, Filipino Prince, Tycoon. P. Diddy, Renee Lacan. And this is We Are Assiduous. Seriously, zombie apocalypse, fam. Like, we're cooked, bro.